Hey there, Singaporean investors. Welcome to the Investing Iguana's daily SGX Market Digest for Tuesday, 3rd of September, 2025. The Straits Times Index hovered around the 4,275 to 4,281 zone today, reflecting a cautious but constructive tape as the market digested fresh corporate news and month-end flows. Year to date, the STI's double-digit gain has been underpinned by policy support for equity market development and improving earnings visibility, with some houses still positive on 12-month targets into 2026. UOB rolled out a first-of-its-kind move among local banks. Singapore-issued UOB cardholders can now redeem Unidollars reward points instantly at over 150 outlets in Johor Bahru, including chains like Jean Yip and Mog Eyewear, tapping rising weekend and leisure spend across the causeway. Shares closed at $34.45, up 0.2% on Monday, as the bank leans into cross-border commerce ecosystems. Program mechanics show on UOB's site that 500 Unidollars is about 5 Singapore dollars equivalent in Malaysian ringgit at prevailing FX rates, which supports practical uptake at point of sale. Iggy's take: this is a small P&L needle today, but a smart wallet share moat over time. Payment stickiness, data, and merchandise, Injibby can cross-sell travel, FX, and lending products when traffic scales on weekends and school holidays. OOE REIT Treasury priced $150 million in 2032 green notes at par with a 2.75% coupon. Proceeds ring-fenced to eligible green projects under its framework and expected to list around October 9th, 2025, with an S&P BBB- rating referenced in media coverage. Units finished at 33.5 cents, down 1.5% before the announcement, as the market weighed incremental funding against asset-level performance and sector yields. Iggy's take: locking in sub-3% long-dated funding looks cost-efficient versus typical SGD credit spreads today, improving visibility on CAPEX and sustainability upgrades. Execution matters, but green CAPEX can aid occupancy and valuation over the medium term. The trustee of Keppel Pacific Oak U.S. REIT amended a facility agreement so that if Keppel Capital Investment ceases to own at least around 64.2 million core units, outstanding loans under a revolving $25 million facility become repayable within 10 business days. Disclosures indicate aggregate facilities potentially affected total about $705 million, excluding interest and fees. Units closed flat at $0.23 before the news, while earlier first-half updates showed positive leasing momentum and 88.2% occupancy, with aggregate leverage of 43.7% at end June 2025. Iggy's take: the covenant-style ownership trigger is the key watch item. Funding headroom hinges on sponsor alignment. Operational leasing gains help, but the capital structure overhang will drive valuation sensitivity near term. Today's themes: services and payments. Banks are competing on everyday utility. Cross-border rewards make cards top of wallet for JB trips, supporting fee income and spend velocity without hefty balance sheet risk. REIT funding. Attractive green note pricing shows windows are open for rated issuers, but investors still screen hard for asset-level cash flows and leverage paths across office and mixed-use names. U.S. office exposure for SGD-listed USD REITs, loan terms, and sponsor alignment remain as important as leasing stats, given refinancing cliffs and covenants can dominate equity outcomes. The key takeaway today is simple: follow the money. Plumbing, payments rails, and debt terms are steering equity risk more than headlines suggest, especially for banks' fee engines and REITs' refinancing maps. Keep an eye on policy-driven equity initiatives and index development, but anchor decisions on funding costs, covenants, and cash flow durability at the issuer level. As always, diversify across sectors and funding profiles, and stress test holdings for both rate drift and sponsor changes before the next earnings cycle. That's the scoop for the SGX today, Tuesday, 30 September 2025. For real-time analysis and early reads a week ahead, the premium membership is just $3 a month, less than Kopiti Kosong at many places now, and a lot more useful for portfolio decisions. Like, share, and drop a comment with the stocks to cover next. Every comment helps shape tomorrow's digest.